evening and welcome to COVID-19 update on MITV. I am Tomi Sinjo.
And I am Teresa Adiemi. A lovely evening to you.
We'll take a look at the news from Nigeria today, topmost on the news. We also take a look at the news from the global scene, and after that we'll be looking at COVID-19 in numbers, particularly focusing on the number of tests that are being conducted by every country, and of course on the number of recovered patients they've had and the number that is still in isolation. Let's take the news from the local scene.
All right, here in Nigeria, the Federal Executive Council FEC yesterday revised the 2020 budget from 10.594 trillion naira signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari to 10.523 trillion naira. FEC also approved the amendment of the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) for 2020 to 2022. And recall that the National Assembly had increased the 2020 budget from 10.33 trillion naira submitted by the executive to 10.594 trillion naira. The budget caught especially the review of oil benchmark to $25 per barrel, drawing the attention of experts who advised the federal government to immediately diversify their economy with money realized from sale of the product to stop depending on oil. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondent after the virtual FEC meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council Chamber, Presidential Villa, Abuja. According to her, Council approved the recommendations with key parameters, including the price of crude oil, which was pegged at $25 per barrel, crude oil production at 1.94 million barrels per day, rate of 360 naira to $1. She said the revised budget was now a total sum of 10.523 trillion naira, a difference of about 71.5 billion naira when compared to the approved budget. And again, still on the Federal Executive Council, FEC has approved a loan facility of $1.2 billion to finance the mechanization of agriculture in the country. And Sabo Nanono, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, disclosed this on Wednesday while briefing State House correspondent after the virtual FEC meeting anchored from the Council Chamber of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The virtual meeting was presided by President Muhammadu Buhari. The online FEC was in line with Nigerian Center for Disease Control, otherwise known as NCDC protocol on physical distancing, as Nigeria strives to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Nanono did not provide details of the loan, including its source and conditions. However, the Finance Minister and the Debt Management Office had earlier said Nigeria would utilize more internal borrowings rather than external borrowings due to the impact of COVID-19 on the global economy. On Wednesday, Mr. Nanono said that the planned mechanization of agriculture would spend 632 local government. And finally, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, otherwise known as OPEC, has put Nigeria's oil output, excluding condensate, at 1.78 million barrels per day in April 2020. According to data collated from secondary sources, this indicated a decrease of 68,000 BPD when compared to 1.84 BPD produced in March 2020. In its April market report obtained by Vanguard, OPEC, which doubted the capacity of the global economy to take much oil, at this time stated, and I quote, "The world economy is forecast to face a recession in 2020, declining by 3.4%, following global economic growth of 2.9% in the previous year. Within the OECD, the U.S. is forecast to contract by 5.2% in 2020, following growth of 2.3% in 2019. An even larger decline is expected in the Eurozone, where economic activities is forecast to fall by 8.0% in 2020 compared to growth of 1.2% in 2019. Japan is forecast to contract by 5.1% in 2020, comparing the growth of 0.7% in 2019. China's 2020 GDP is forecast to grow by 1.3%, recovering from a sharp contraction and following growth of 6.1% in 2019. And that's all from the local scene. Now to the global scene.
Thank you very much, Teresa Adiemi, for that news from the global scene, we'll have Burundi, starting from Africa, has ordered the expulsion of World Health Organization's expert team coordinating the country's response to the coronavirus pandemic just days before a presidential election. The Foreign Ministry, in a letter to WHO Africa headquarters and seen by international media on Wednesday, said the United Nations agency's representative in Burundi and his 3 colleagues are declared persona non grata and as such must leave the territory of Burundi by Friday. The directive dated May the 12th expels WHO staff official in Burundi, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo, the country's coronavirus coordinator, Dr. Jean-Pierre Mulunda Nkata, communicable diseases head, Dr. Ruhana Mirindi Bisimwa, and a laboratory expert in the testing for COVID-19, Professor Daniel Tazi. The letter does not provide a reason for the decision. Diplomatic and administrative sources told media the Foreign Ministry aborted a similar attempt to expel the same 4 officials a month ago. The announcement comes just days before Burundis go to the polls on the 20th of May to choose a new president. Parliamentarians and local officials, the landlocked country of some 11 million, has officially recorded 27 cases of COVID-19, 1 death, and from the disease. And in China, the hackers are trying to steal COVID-19 vaccine research, as authorities have alleged on Wednesday, racketing up tensions between the superpowers as markets slumped on warnings from the U.S. Federal Reserve that prolongs shutdown caused by lasting damage. Europe, meanwhile, pushed ahead with plans to gradually reopen for summer tourism, even as fears persist of a second wave of infections in the pandemic that has forced more than half of humanity behind closed doors in recent months. With some countries scrambling after a fresh surge in cases and a global death toll exceeding 294,000, the World Health Organization warns that the virus may never go away. There is no proven therapy for COVID-19 yet, and an effective vaccine could allow countries' economies to fully reopen and potentially earn millions of dollars for its creators. And lastly on the news, the re-emergence of the new coronavirus cases in Wuhan, the city and the birthplace of the new deadly pandemic in China, is sparking fears of a fresh wave of infections, with authorities directing the testing of all 11 million residents of the state under 10 days. According to a widely circulated document from Wuhan's antivirus department, cited by several Chinese local media, authorities in Wuhan ordered districts in the city to submit a plan by Tuesday, detailing how they will conduct the testing of every resident. The document, which refers to the test plan as a 10-day battle, demands each district to draw its own plan based on the size of their population, even if there is no active outbreak within it. 6 new locally transmitted cases were reported within one district in Wuhan on Sunday, more than a month after no infections have been seen in the entire city. Even though COVID-19, the potentially dangerous pneumonia-like disease caused by the coronavirus, is said to have emanated from a local Wuhan market to spread to almost 200 countries, claiming nearly 300,000 lives and sickening more than 4 million in 4 months, Chinese authorities have led the fight against the contagion. China managed to contain the spread of the virus through rapid testing, fumigation of entire streets, adherence to safety guidelines, restrictions, and locked down hundreds of millions of residents for 11 weeks from mid-February to early April, when the total lockdown was finally lifted. From the 3rd of April, no new local infections were reported in the Asian city until the contagion resurfaced in Wuhan over the weekend. That's it on the news on the COVID-19 update. We take this quick break and come back for COVID-19 in numbers. Welcome back to COVID-19 update, and I'll take a look at COVID-19 in numbers, starting with the global number of cases. We have coronavirus cases across the world of 4,400,000 482,974. And deaths have risen above 300,397. And I said, now we have 1,684,714 people that have recovered completely from COVID-19. The total number of critical patients across the world is 45,879. The number of people in mild condition, 2,451,984. That takes about 98% of the active cases of COVID-19. The critical take 2% of that number, bringing the total number of active cases across the world to 2,497,863. All right, taking a look from the first 10 countries, we take a look at their number of cases, we take a look at the number of recovered patients, and of course, we take a look at the number of tests they've conducted. Today, the United States are at 1641 GMT. That's 441 GMT. The United States has recorded 1,437,831 cases of coronavirus. Total number of recovered patients, 311,322. 1,040,976 people are still in isolation being treated, and the total number of tests conducted across the U.S. is 10,361,458. Spain takes number 2 position with 272,646 cases. We have 186,480 who have recovered, 58,845 who are still being treated, 2,467,761 tests that have been conducted. In Russia, number 3 on the list, 252,245 cases have been confirmed. Total number of recovered, 53,530 people have recovered. 196,410 people are yet to recover and are still being treated. Total number of tests conducted in Russia, 6,188,102. In UK, number 4 on the list, 233,151 cases have been recorded. Number of recovered are not quite sure or clear in the United Kingdom, but we have the number of people who are still in isolation is 199,193. Total number of tests conducted in the United Kingdom is 2,219,281. Number 5 across the world is Italy. Italy has confirmed 223,096 cases. They've discharged 115,288 people, and they have 76,440 people still being treated. Total number of tests conducted in Italy is 2,807,504. Total number of cases in Brazil, number 6 on the list, is 196,158 cases. We have 78,424 recovered, 104,183 are still active, 735,224 cases are being tested so far. In France, number 8 on the list, 178,060 is what they have in France. And France is number 7, pardon me. We have 58,673 people who have recovered. We still have 92,313 people who are yet to be discharged, and they've conducted a total of 1,384,633. And number 8 on the list is Germany. Germany has confirmed 174,284 cases. They have discharged 150,300 people. They have 16,116 people still in isolation. And of course, they've conducted 3,147,771 cases. I'll take a look at Turkey at number 9. Turkey has 143,114 cases. They've discharged 101,715. They have 37,447 still in isolation, and of course they've tested 1,474,003 people. And lastly, on the top 10 across the world is Iran. Iran has conducted 114,500 and 33 people confirmed cases. 90,539 people have recovered. 17,140 are still being treated, and they've conducted a total of 643,772. The red line you're seeing on the screen is the total number of people who have died from COVID-19 today. The United States has recorded 336 deaths today. Spain 217. The UK are topping the list of the number of deaths today at 428, and the next one is Brazil with 393 deaths. And strangely, Mexico, even though Mexico has just 40,186 cases, has also recorded 294 deaths today. Taking a look at Africa right now, topping the list in Africa is still South Africa with 12,074 cases. Now, South Africa has discharged 4,745 people. They still have 7,110 people in isolation and have conducted 386,352 tests. Next on the list in Africa, number 2 in Africa is Egypt with 10,829 confirmed cases of COVID-19. 2,626 people have recovered, and total number of discharge are 7,632. Now, the total number of tests conducted in Egypt is 105,000. Now, number 3 on the list in Africa is Morocco with 6,593 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 1 death today. 3,222 people have recovered, and 3,182 people are still being treated for the disease, while they've conducted 76,938 tests. Algeria takes number 4 position at 6,442 cases. They've discharged 3,158 people. They've recorded 7 deaths today, and they have 2,755 people still in isolation and have only conducted 6,500 tests. Number 5 on the list is still Ghana. Ghana has 5,408 cases with 24 deaths recorded totally. 514 people have been discharged. 4,870 people are still being managed, and they've conducted 164,452 tests. Lastly, number 6 in Africa. Nigeria. And you know Nigeria did not enter the top 5. That still makes me really glad. All right, so Nigeria topping number 6 in Africa. We'll have 4,971 cases, and of course Tessie will be giving us the breakdown of the cases we have in Nigeria. Over to you, Tessie.
All right, thank you very much, Omesi. Here in Nigeria, we have samples tested. Let me start with samples tested. We have 30,657 samples tested in Nigeria as at Thursday, 5:41 p.m., 14th of May 2020. We have 30,657 samples tested here in Nigeria. Then we have 4,971 cases. Then active cases in Nigeria, we have 3,737 cases. Then discharge cases, we've passed the mark of the 1,000 here in Nigeria. We have now 1,070 discharge cases here in Nigeria, and death we have 164. Now let's look at the confirmed cases by state. We have the states affected. We have Lagos with cases confirmed to be 2,041 cases, and number of cases of admission we have 1,480. Number of discharge we have 528, and number of deaths in Lagos we have 33. All right, now to Kano State, which is the top 2 here on the list. We have 707 confirmed cases. Cases on admission 595. Number of discharge 79. Number of deaths 33. So Lagos and Kano, they are both with the highest death score in all the states that is affected with this virus. Now in FCT, we have number of cases confirmed to be 370, number of cases on admission to be 291, number of discharge 72, number of deaths 7. Katsina, where they have 224 confirmed cases, 187 on admission, 25 discharge, and 12 deaths. And to FCT, where they have 370 confirmed cases, number of cases on admission 291, number of discharge 72, number of death is 7 in FCT. Katsina, they have 224 confirmed cases, number of cases on admission is 187, number of discharge 25, number of death 12. That is in Katsina. FCT, they have 7 deaths recorded. Katsina, they have 12 deaths recorded. And in Bauchi State, they have 206 confirmed cases, 178 on admission, 25 discharge, and 3 deaths. Now Borno State, where they have 188 confirmed cases, number of cases on admission 148, number of discharge 20, number of deaths 12. Number of deaths 20. 20 discharged, 20 dead. That is in Borno State. In Bauchi State, they have 206 cases. Confirmed cases. Cases on admission 178. Number of discharge 25. Number of death 3. Now Borno State, they have 188 confirmed cases. 188 confirmed cases in Borno State. Cases on admission 148. Number of discharge 20. Number of death 20 in Borno State. Jigawa State 141 confirmed cases. Cases on admission 134. Number of discharge 4. Number of death 3. Jigawa State 141 cases on admission, 141 confirmed cases, 134 on admission. Number of discharge is 4. Number of death is 3. Ogun State, they have 127 confirmed cases. Number of cases on admission 76. Number of discharge 46. Number of death 5. Gombe State 119 confirmed cases. Cases on admission 53 in Gombe State. Number of discharge 65. Number of death 1. Kaduna State with 116 confirmed cases, 95 cases on admission, 17 discharge and 3 deaths. Or now to Sokoto State, where they have 112 cases. Cases on admission 59, discharge 40, deaths 13. Edo with 89 confirmed cases, 59 on admission, 26 discharge, 4 deaths. Now Zamfara State, 73 confirmed cases, 67 on admission, 1 discharge, 5 deaths. Oyo State with 73 confirmed cases, 55 on admission, 16 discharge, 2 deaths. Kwara State with 53 confirmed cases, 43 on admission, 9 discharge, 1 death. Osun State with 42 confirmed cases, 8 on admission, 30 discharge, 4 deaths. Rivers State with 33 confirmed cases, 25 on admission, 5 discharge, and 3 deaths. And Kebbi State, where they have 31 confirmed cases, 23 on admission, and Kebbi State 5 discharge, 3 deaths. Nasarawa with 28 cases, 27 on admission, no discharge, 1 death. Delta State with 22 cases confirmed, 13 on admission, 6 discharge, and 3 deaths. Adamawa State with 21 confirmed cases, 17 on admission, 4 discharge, no death. Adamawa, no death in Adamawa. Yobe State, they have 20 confirmed cases, 19 on admission, no discharge, 1 death. Plateau, they have 20 confirmed cases, 16 on admission, 4 discharge, no death. And Ondo State, where they have 18 confirmed cases, 6 on admission, 11 discharge, 1 death. Taraba State with 17 cases on admission, 16 discharge, 1 discharge, 16 on admission, 1 discharge, and no death. Akwa Ibom 17 confirmed cases, 3 on admission, 12 discharge, 2 death. Ekiti State, they have 15 confirmed cases, 5 on admission, 9 discharge, 1 death. Now to Enugu State, where they have 12 confirmed cases, 10 on admission, 2 discharge, and no death. Niger State, they have 10 confirmed cases, 8 on admission, 2 discharge, no death. Ebonyi State with 9 confirmed cases, 9 on admission, no death, no discharge. Bayelsa State with 6 confirmed cases, 3 on admission, 3 discharge, and no death. That is in Bayelsa State. Then now to Benue State, they have 4 confirmed cases, 4 on admission, no discharge, no death. To Imo State, where they have 3 confirmed cases, 2 on admission, and 1 discharge, no death. Anambra State with 2 confirmed cases, 1 on admission, 1 discharge, no death. And finally, Abia State, where they have 2 confirmed cases, 1 on admission, 1 discharge, and no death. And now the highlight here in Nigeria is on the 13th of May 2020, 184 new confirmed cases and 6 deaths were recorded in Nigeria. No new state has reported a case in the last 24 hours. That's as of 13th of May 2020, the highlight. Then till date, we have 4,971 cases have been confirmed, which 1,070 cases have been discharged, and 164 deaths have been recorded in 34 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The 184 new cases are reported from 22 states. That is Lagos with 51, Jigawa with 23, Bauchi with 16, Katsina with 16, Kano 14, FCT 10, Rivers 10, Kwara 9, Delta 5, Kaduna 5, Sokoto 4, Oyo 4, Osun 3, Kebbi 3, Nasarawa 3, Ondo 2, Ebonyi 1, Edo 1, Enugu 1, Anambra 1, Plateau 1, and Niger 2021. And that is to tell you that those are the 22 states. The last report to date, 4,971 cases have been confirmed, 1,070 cases have been discharged, and 184 deaths have been recorded. And in 34 states, the Federal Capital Territory. So the 184 new cases are reported from 22 states. Over to you now, Tomisi.
Thank you very much, Tessie. I was just taking a look at the updates from the PTF, that's the Presidential Task Force, and some of the highlights of the speech this evening. I'd quickly like to run that with you before we introduce the topic of discussion. And what they are looking at right now, essential workers need to be allowed free movement, and they also need to maintain a semblance of economic activities as they tackle the situation of COVID-19. And that was from the coordinator, that's Dr. Sani Aliyu. Face mask is also not a 100% protection for COVID-19, says Dr. Isage Hanere, and so as a result is saying that wherever you find yourself, whatever you are doing, you must wear your face mask when you are speaking with people. So peradventure somebody is right in front of you and you want to talk to the person, you don't have to remove your face mask to communicate with the person. What you do is you go ahead and speak to the person through your face mask, and that's why as much as possible you want to get a firm but a little bit of allowance around the mouth and the nose area when you're buying a face mask. Another thing to note from the speech of this evening is that even the food vendors, Dr. Isage Hanere says he's looking forward to having even the food vendors wear a face mask before they sell food to you, which means when they're speaking to you, their faces are also well covered.
And I think you should let the people know that they should not share the face mask. The face mask
is not shareable.
It's not shareable.
Thing. It's not shareable.
It's not shareable.
It's not something you can transfer from person to person. It's
Maybe
not
you
something even husband and wife can share, because you have different immune system and of course you have different bodies in the first place. The Ministry of Health is not the host of the Chinese medical experts who came around, and we cannot always know all about them. People are asking a lot of questions about the Chinese experts that came around. Of course, they are the guests of the CCECC, so as much as possible, the Ministry of Health is not responsible for their upkeep and their care. And according to what Dr. Chikwe Ihiekuazu, the DG of NCDC, says, we must all try to access what we need to tackle this pandemic, as no country can fight it alone. And the end of the outbreak can only come when a vaccine is found. So it is important for us as a country to pay more attention to research, and not just in the short term, but also on a very long term. They're slowly rethinking the strategy towards this fight, and we have to continue to learn to live with the virus. Wow. That's from Dr. Ihiekuazu. He wants us to live with the virus, okay? Saying we have to learn to live with the virus.
Like someone told me this evening, sorry, before you go ahead, someone told me this evening that he has been updated that we need to learn to live with the virus, that the virus, the COVID-19 virus is just going to be like the AIDS, the HIV stuff, so we have to learn
to live with it.
So I now asked them a question. I said, so that means hugging for life is prohibited, shaking for life is prohibited.
That's what they call social distancing.
Social distancing now. So that
all
means
the greeting, personal greeting
now
prohibited for life.
So we have to go the Indian way.
So when your husband goes out, you can't greet him and jump at him when he comes back.
Or when you're back, the kids can jump at you.
No.
Oh, mommy, welcome.
Until there is a vaccine and every kid can be vaccinated against it, that should be totally discouraged. So life as we know it cannot come back until we have a vaccine for this. And countries like India, Brazil, of course, China, they have the similar demographic with Nigeria. And what they are doing to tackle diseases is what we must pay a lot of attention to. There is a shutdown in India like never before, and that shutdown actually brings me to the topic of this evening. The Lagos State government have been conducting a poll on Twitter. So if you are a Twitterian and you've been checking their handle, follow LASG on Twitter. There is a topmost, the pinned tweet there says, if you would like to have a lockdown or no lockdown, or you are totally neutral about it, you just click and vote. And so far, we've had 50% of people vote for lockdown. We've had 39% of people vote for no lockdown, and 11%
neutral.
To be neutral. But the strange part is, while we were having our breakfast show this morning, it occurred that the people who are voting on Twitter are the elites. And so we're looking at the people who are on the streets, regular people who are watching us right here from home today. You get to call us in the studio and you get to tell us exactly which you prefer. In just about 20 seconds, you tell us lockdown or no lockdown,
or if you're neutral
or no neutral. You just speak to us directly on the number that we put right there on the screen. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to the COVID-19 update on MITV. Right now, we're taking a vote. Lockdown or no lockdown. You get to call us on 08064738133 to cast your own vote. Remember, you're talking to us in 20 seconds, and what you need to do is say your name, where you're calling from, and lockdown or no lockdown, or you're completely neutral. But let's talk to you a little bit about the benefits of the lockdown, the benefit of no lockdown, and of course, the benefit of being neutral. Tessie, what does it feel like to be neutral to you at a critical time like this?
Well, at a critical time like this, to be neutral, I don't think I have to belong to that group, but at times you need to belong to that neutral group, because you don't want the lockdown, because of your pocket. We need to feed our families. Let's just hit it. That is the reason we don't want this lockdown. Because we need to feed our families. You know, a normal Nigerian lives on daily basis, daily allowance basis. If you know you're a salary worker, you know you spend daily. You don't only spend at the end of the month when you get your pay.
Yeah, you spend all through the month.
All through the month. You understand? So if an average Nigerian comes out and tell you, I don't want the lockdown, I'm not going to blame them. It's because of the pay. It's because of the pay. But if we look at the implications, if we look at the way this virus is going, because I keep saying it, we don't know what we are fighting. Because it's an invisible war that we are fighting. You understand? So if someone should tell me that, Tessie or Tomisi, I don't want a lockdown, I will understand them from that perspective. And if you say you want a lockdown, I will also understand you from that perspective, because of the level of compliance in Lagos State here. I can speak of Lagos State because I'm so sure of Lagos State. If you tell me something about Ogun State, I will listen. But don't tell me about Lagos State, I won't listen. I will tell you what is happening here in Lagos, because I'm here, right? I'm right here in Lagos. When I go out, I say the level of compliance is 0%. To be sincere, it's 0%. The only thing intact now is the face mask. At least even the pepper sellers, the sachet water sellers, the pet bottle water sellers, they are all donning on the mask now.
Where?
We understand.
On the
nose? They're not wearing it
properly.
They're not even wearing it properly. But at least
on the chin,
but at least
on the mouth.
So but at least they have the mask. Okay. You understand?
Which is half compliance.
Which is half compliance. But the only thing they still don't understand is this physical distancing. They still don't understand
the touch is still coming in.
It's still coming in.
There is no physical distancing.
You know, whenever someone is coming to me, I do ask them, did you come here with a yellow bus, through the yellow bus? I used to ask them that question.
That's a very valid question.
You understand? Because this yellow buses drivers, you understand? I think their president named the NRTW is Oluomo. I don't know, I'm not sure.
That's in
MC Oluomo in Lagos here. I think he needs to be called. We need to call him and ask him what action is he taking to curb these people, because only he can curb them. Even the uniform men can cop them because they have their lives to protect. They can't stand in front of them when they're refusing to stop and they've been ordered not to enter into the vehicles again. Even the policemen are even scared to enter the vehicle
because of coronavirus.
You know, when this lockdown was partially relaxed, the governor said they should fumigate their buses. They should make sure they fumigate their buses
on a daily basis. In fact, before every trip. When you return from a trip, you fumigate before you go on another.
Before you go on another trip, but I can tell you they are not doing that.
Definitely.
This morning here, just like I was told, there's some policemen in front of MRTV here. They were stopping some people, arresting them. That if you're not wearing a face mask, it's 20,000 naira. That the bill has been passed. I don't know anything about that. I'm not saying it, but someone just told me. I said, why are they charging them 20,000 naira? He said the bill has been passed, but it's not a news I've confirmed.
Community service is what they should give them, not a monetary.
Okay.
No, not a financial, target as well.
But do you think, as a Nigerian, in all honesty, if you give them the monetary punishment, do you think they will not abide?
Okay. But Nigerians are also very proud people, and that's one of the reasons why people run away from community services. Because when you're doing community service in the area where you possibly have people who admire you and respect you,
if you want to give them the community service,
give them sweeping, packing of the drainage,
take them to the express.
Oh no, that's really not nice. They need to be in a place where they will be shamed. There will be shame. That's the purpose of community service.
Do you know that staying on that road and sweeping the road is so scary?
Yes, I know.
Do you know?
Especially because you have lots of trucks and long vehicles
passing by. It's so scary. But I believe we are adults. Now,
we can just obey the rules.
We can just obey the rules. That is just it. Let's just obey it. See what is happening. The children are not coming out now, They are all at home. The children are home.
So it should be.
So
they are in some.
So the people coming out
in
some areas. Which areas?
Children are outside. Do you know children are hawking? Do you know the people who used to send children to go hawk have already started the moment the curfew was, the lockdown was relaxed?
Yes, I think I saw someone like that. I saw a child hawking granite with a face mask. I even saw some children begging with their face mask. And I was like, why are these children outside?
Exactly. Brings us to the topic of the evening. Would like to do a poll on COVID-19 is here, the COVID-19 pandemic. Lockdown or no lockdown? The benefits, according to Tessie, of the lockdown, first of all, is you get to be safe. So if you choose the lockdown, it means you understand the health implication of COVID-19. How bad, how dangerous it can be. If you pick no lockdown, it's likely going to be because of the pocket and the effect of COVID-19 lockdown on your family and lack of food, lack of money to spend. And if you're totally neutral about it, it simply means that you are not paying enough attention, or maybe you're not really as affected about the lockdown or lack of it.
So basically, you don't get it twisted. At times, one can be neutral.
Or you're just confused.
You understand. You want it, and you still don't want it.
At the same time.
You want it because you want to protect yourself and your family and your loved ones, but you don't want it because of the monetary aspect. You understand?
So you pick neutral.
Of the survival.
In that kind of a situation.
So in that kind of situation, you just go for neutral. That whatever they do, let them do it.
All right, the number to call is right there on the screen. That's 08064738133. From now all the way to the end of the program, we'd like to pick your calls, and of course, you get to speak to us about the number, the one that you pick. Remember, it's just 20 seconds. Please do not flash the number. Do not send SMS or WhatsApp to the number. Just call the number, and we get to speak to you. And when you do call us, turn down the volume of your TV set. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good evening.
Lockdown or no lockdown, your name first.
I'm Benson by name.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abidjan.
You're calling from Abidjan. Do you want a lockdown or no lockdown?
Lockdown or no lockdown?
No lockdown, please.
All right, so you are in Abidjan, which means you're not in Nigeria.
I'm in Abidjan after Sangotedo.
Oh, the Nigerian Abidjan. All right.
So you don't want a lockdown?
He doesn't want a lockdown. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Ikorodu, okay. So which one do you prefer, lockdown or no lockdown?
No lockdown.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Your name or where you calling from?
Hello, I want non-lockdown.
Your name, please.
Your name?
I'm calling from Agege, Tachinedu.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Hello?
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Your name and where you calling from, sir? All right. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Please speak louder.
Yeah, my name is Adegbejo.
We can barely hear you. Please
We
speak
can
louder
barely
when
hear
you
you.
call us. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
Your
This
name.
is
Good evening. Thank
Mrs.
you.
Makinde.
Your name, please.
Mrs. Makinde
From where?
from Ablegba, Agbelekale.
All right. Are you neutral, lockdown, or no lockdown?
No, there should be no lockdown, please.
Okay.
Thank
you very
you.
much. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Larry from K2.
Lockdown, no lockdown, or are you
lockdown.
neutral?
I'm neutral.
You're neutral.
You're neutral. All right, thank you.
All right. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah,
How
thanks
are
for
you?
joining us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Ikorodu,
And what's your name?
Sylvester.
So what do you go for? Lockdown or no lockdown, or you just gonna be neutral?
No lockdown.
No lockdown.
Thank you very much to all our callers. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Sakuli,
Okay.
calling from Ogba.
Your choice.
Lockdown.
Thank you. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from? Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Ojoju.
Okay.
What's your name?
Mrs. Ibrahim.
All right. Lockdown, no lockdown, or are you neutral?
No lockdown.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling
Yes, I'm
from?
coming from Olota.
Okay. Lockdown or no lockdown?
No lockdown, please. So don't kill us with hunger.
All right. Good evening.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my name is Adegbejo from Ishawu.
Okay. Lockdown or no lockdown?
Lockdown is because people are not complying at all.
Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name, where you calling from?
My name is Kawade.
All right. From where?
Well, I'm calling from Agbajo area.
All right. Lockdown, no lockdown, or are you neutral?
You not lockdown because if you lockdown, people will be hungry.
All right. Good evening. Thanks for joining us again. Name, where you calling
Hello?
from, and your choice.
Hello, yeah, hello.
Your name, sir.
We can hear you.
I'm calling from Agbajo Cross here.
Your name.
Please, there's no lockdown because the government is not provide us the food and the money. So,
All right. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name, where you calling from, and your choice. Hello? All right, please, when you do call us, just go straight to the point. My name is Tomisi. I'm from Lagos. This is my choice. And make sure you tell us where exactly you're talking to us from. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us, sir.
there's no lockdown.
No lockdown. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you calling from, sir?
My name is Razak. I'm calling from Agege.
Lockdown or no lockdown?
Lockdown, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
My name is Razak. I'm calling from Agege.
Hello, good evening.
Lockdown, ma.
Hello, your TV is on.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Akbasu Paul.
From
I'm calling from Kano State.
Kano. All right, so Kano is currently on lockdown. Can you talk to us a bit? Tell us exactly what Kano has been like since the beginning of the lockdown.
Is it going to use my money to do another?
Oh, fortunately, we lost our call. If you could
Please,
call
if you
back,
can call back, please call back. Please do.
because you're talking to us from the only state of the federation that is placed on a lockdown for now. We'd like to know exactly what has been happening in Kano. How effective has the lockdown been? Not forgetting the
wait,
fact that the
Kano-
number of cases have been increasing in Kano.
In Kano, yes,
and that's
Kano
been
has hit 33 dead, just like
Yes,
Lagos
about
State.
2
You know,
days
Lagos
ago.
State here too, we have 33 dead,
Yes.
and Kano 33 dead. They are at the same level
with Lagos.
with Lagos for now.
So from what we have so far, I think we have about 80% of the people want no lockdown for obvious reasons, the reasons you gave. Food, hunger is the major reason.
The only reason they don't want to lock down is because of their stomach, because of the pocket, because that is very, very important.
Very true.
But when we look at the health implications, when people are not
When you're
complying,
hungry.
when you're hungry,
But
people
when
won't bother.
when you're sick, you don't think about
You don't even think about food. When you're sick, they will ask you to eat. You tell them you don't want to eat anything.
Because-
At that point, do you remember when we were growing up? Whenever we were sick, that is when our parents
You
will
don't
start.
even take
That's when our parents will start giving us what they've not been offering us before.
Exactly.
That's when they'll
Just
start
to
pampering
entice you into wanting
You
food.
understand. So when you are okay, that is when you know you want to eat. But when you're sick, then you will know that food is not important at the moment.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you calling from, sir?
My name is Ikechukwu Anegbo. I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, lockdown or no lockdown?
Autopass.
Lockdown or no lockdown? Or are you neutral?
No lockdown, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Daramola Olani
From where?
from Ablegba, Fagele.
All right. Lockdown or no lockdown, ma?
No lockdown, mo.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Where are you calling from and your name?
Good evening. My name is Olusegun from Lagos.
All right. Your choice.
No lockdown.
Okay. Good evening.
Hello?
Your name?
Calling from Ota.
Lockdown or no lockdown, sir?
Lockdown.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ahmed from Oba.
Ahmed from Ogba. Your choice. Lockdown or no lockdown? You're neutral.
Please, lockdown. If this is all real, please.
Okay.
Lockdown.
Lockdown. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. All right. Hello. Good evening. All right, we lost our call, but if you want to call us, I said that people should not send text messages. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
from Ikorodu.
All right. Lock choice. Your choice. Lockdown. No lockdown.
No lockdown. No.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos.
Your name.
Lao.
Your choice.
Yeah. I'm an architect.
Lockdown or no lockdown?
Lockdown or neutral.
Lockdown. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Agege side.
All right.
Problem
Lockdown.
is that, no, wait, let me just a minute, please. What happens is that the two of them are very important. We know if you be at home, if you be at home, everything will, you understand? And if you go outside too, both to eat and not to die.
So yeah.
Both of them are very
So
available.
you're neutral.
Wait now. Wait, what I'm trying to say is that our government cannot do the necessity. Let's just be decent to ourselves. So why are you now?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. But I think it's neutral. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling from? Quickly.
My name is Vicky Sama. I'm calling from Agege.
Lockdown or no lockdown? Lockdown or no lockdown? All right, we lost our call. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ogun State.
Lockdown or no lockdown?
No lockdown.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from, sir?
My name is Paul Larishe
From where?
from Lambert.
Lockdown or no lockdown?
No lockdown because
Hello, good evening.
Hello, yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from,
Turn
sir?
on the volume of the TV
I'm
set.
calling from Agbadoko.
Your choice. Hello, good evening. 5 more calls before we call it a wrap. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name, sir, where are you calling from? Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
Hello, good evening. No lockdown, no.
Good evening.
Please, when you call, try to turn down the volume of your TV set so
Hello,
that you
good
can sound
evening.
audible enough for us to hear and for people at home
Definitely.
to hear what you're saying, please.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Pastor Lech. I'm calling from Agege right now.
Your choice.
Yes, I don't need no lockdown. There's a 12.
Hello, good evening.
Come on, don't explain. We just want to know your choice.
Good evening.
Your name
know
and where
your
you calling from?
Felix calling from Oshodi, Lagos.
Your choice, sir.
Please, no lockdown.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from and your choice quickly.
My name is Isaac Ogebe. I'm calling from Ojudu Bega.
Choice.
No lockdown, please.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. Ishaga. Lockdown or no lockdown? Lockdown. All right. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you calling from quickly.
My name is Akpa Support. I'm calling from Kano State.
All right, Mr. Abbas, I was waiting for your call. Now we can round up with you. So tell us
No
about the
lockdown.
lockdown in Kano.
The lockdown is seriously, it's really affecting people.
Okay.
It's true, definitely.
How do you mean?
There is lockdown and no food. People are hungry. Some people are dying of hunger. It's too much. Yeah.
Now, have you been to any, or is anybody close to you that has experienced COVID-19?
Yes. I have a couple of neighbors
Okay.
that some of them died of hunger. And I was thinking that the isolation should be to prevent the death of people, and it's causing the hunger is killing people.
Well, let me
Okay.
quickly ask you this. Is
Hunger
there no
at
form
the
of
isolation
palliative
center?
measure? Is there no form of palliative measure over there? Is there no food being shared for people over there? Hello?
Mr. Hagbaz?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Hagbaz? Unfortunately. Hi, good
you
evening.
okay?
Our last caller for today. Good evening. Yes, good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Your choice, sir.
No lockdown.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that's it on the post for this evening.
Absolutely, you
I
know.
want to say a big thank you
just
to
like-
those who called.
Oh, a very big thank you to all our callers. We appreciate you so much. But you know, I quickly want to chip in something that there's always been hunger in the land.
Definitely. Especially when we
We have
experience the
never
lockdown
been
in Lagos.
classified as a rich country.
Yes.
We all know that. You understand. The government cannot feed the whole nation. That is why I can understand people that are saying no lockdown.
No lockdown.
Because they are not ready to beg. They are ready to work. This is my results. You can look at my results, but I was busy jonesing
See,
it out.
I
This
can
is the
see.
result. This is no lockdown. This is lockdown. And these are the people
That are neutral. So we have about 75% of the callers for this evening want no lockdown.
No lockdown.
About 28% want a lockdown. And we have the last 2% want
Exactly
they are totally neutral.
what Mr. Fatuke said in the morning,
Yes.
that the Twitter poll is for the elite.
Because
You
they understand the effect
Effect
of
of
COVID-19
COVID-19.
and what it means to
So
the
now
health
when you
of an
bring the
individual.
poll to the streets, you're going to get a total different result.
Definitely. No lockdown is
So
the
when
way
you say
to
no
go here.
lockdown, we understand you. And when you say lockdown, we
We
still
also
understand.
understand
We
you.
still understand you.
But
And when
of
you're
course-
neutral, we'll understand.
We understand you as well. But we need to close. We need to close. And that comes back to telling you exactly how important it is for you. Whatever the choice of the government will be, come Monday, you need to take responsibility. Tessie, how do we close?
All right, I'm going to leave you today with, I want you to know that the total confirmed cases in Nigeria as of this evening is 4,971, with 1,070 discharged, with 164 deaths. Take responsibility. You are responsible. I am responsible. Make sure you wash your hands, sanitize your hands, do all the needful. Do all what they are asking us to do. Let's just give it to them. Let's do it, and we're going to be safe, and we can go back to our normal lives. I am Teresa.
And from me, I must say that you must continue to watch MITV for all of our programs. Do follow us on all of our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Peradventure you want to rewatch this program, go back on the YouTube channel at MITV NG to watch it again and of course take part in our own poll. This poll on Facebook is for the people on the streets and not for the edit. I am Tomi Sojo. See you again tomorrow morning, bright and early.